Hi, I'm Mark Gstohl, Associate Director of Programming for the Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Faculty Development at Xavier University of Louisiana. In this video, I'll be discussing how our faculty might want to approach the issue of artificial intelligence based on Xavier's mission, as well as how I approached this issue in one of my classes this spring. One of the aspects of our mission our students like to focus on is that we are preparing them to be leaders in a global society. The most important aspect of our mission to me is that we help them to contribute to the promotion of a more just and humane society. When our students leave Xavier, they need to be prepared to deal with the issues related to AI. In whatever field they enter, AI will be used. We need to help prepare them to confront the inequities that may arise from the commercialization of AI and the disparities that will exist in access and utilization of this rapidly changing technology. We need to help them to understand how best to use this technology to create a better world. Many ethical issues will arise that they will need to navigate in an appropriate manner. This is a difficult and frightening task, but as educators, we need to prepare ourselves and our students for a future that will be impacted by AI. Part of our mission also states that we should incorporate all educational means in accomplishing our goal. Thus, we are called not only to seek new ways to address this important issue, but to learn with our students how best this technology can be used. My approach this semester was not to ignore the elephant in the room, but to address it and demonstrate to my students that we are learning together about this technology. Because I sometimes teach comparative religion, often the elephant in the room looks like this. On the first day of class, I talked about AI, and I asked my students what they knew about it and if they had used it already. Remember that ChatGPT was only made available to a limited number of persons in November of 2022. So at the beginning of the spring semester in 2023, it wasn't widely used. Only 3 students in my class at that time had heard of ChatGPT, and none had used it. One student did share that there was a video on YouTube that was totally created by artificial intelligence. Later on in the semester, I felt obligated to talk to my students because Brightspace had rolled out an AI detector through Turnitin. My colleagues and I in the Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Faculty Development had been examining the use of AI in education for several months at this time and had been concerned about the accuracy of AI detectors. We noticed that the Turnitin AI detector boasted a 96% detection rate. We were highly skeptical, and soon the president of Xavier sent to faculty an article from the Washington Post that told of a student who was wrongly accused of using AI on an assignment because the AI detection from Brightspace had flagged her work in error. This article, of course, confirmed our concern about the tool. I felt compelled to explain to my students that this tool existed on Brightspace and that they did not have access to viewing the results of the tool. I then explained to them that the tool is not always accurate, and if they were punished unjustly because a Xavier faculty member used the tool without understanding it and how inaccurate it could be, that I would be glad to speak to the faculty member, as would my colleagues at the Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Faculty Development. During the session, the students were very hesitant to talk about the use of AI, but they did express fear that faculty members might use it to negatively impact their grade using inaccurate tools. Prior to this session, I had used the tool to identify a student who had used AI on their paper. I had a great rapport with the student, so I asked them to talk to me in my office about the paper. The student did admit to using ChatGPT to help write the paper, but insisted that they did not cut and paste their information directly from ChatGPT. I learned a lot from the student and felt compelled to share it with my class. Students stated that they had used ChatGPT to better understand content that was delivered via lecture and textbook. The description of the ideas provided by ChatGPT were much clearer and easier to understand. They also claimed that when they read the information provided by ChatGPT, they realized that some of it was incorrect, but that in reviewing the work, they felt that they'd gained a better understanding of how to properly address the prompt for the essay that they were writing at the time. I shared these two ideas with my students and even took a prompt from their next essay and typed it into ChatGPT. And then we looked at the answer carefully. I went through each point made by ChatGPT and we discussed whether or not the point was correct. If the point was correct, we talked about ways to expand the discussion so that their essay was more in-depth and more thoroughly supported their thesis. I think we all found this very helpful and enlightening. If the point was incorrect, we talked about why it was not correct and in some cases used the point to brainstorm other ideas that might be more appropriate for the essay. I believe the best approach to dealing with AI with students is to promote an open and honest discussion in class so that we can be better informed as to how this tool might help us think more critically and be used ethically and profitably by us all. I hope this video gave you some ideas for how you might approach this vital subject in your classroom.